What if I told you that the secret to building the greatest version of yourself in the next 3 months was written over 500 years ago by an Italian philosopher? And what if that secret wasn't about positive thinking or manifesting, but about raw, ruthless, real-world strategy? We live in a world of noise. A world of opinions. A world that constantly wants a piece of your time, your attention, your energy. And it's designed to keep you weak, distracted, and exactly where you are. But for the next 3 months, that ends. For the next 3 months, you are going to disappear. You are going to stay relentlessly consistent. And you are going to forge a version of yourself that commands respect, achieves goals, and operates from a position of power. And to do it, we're not using fluffy self-help. We're using a Machiavellian blueprint. Now, when most people hear Machiavellian, they think of manipulation and evil. But that's a mistake. To be Machiavellian is to be a supreme realist. It's to understand the world and human nature exactly as it is, not as we wish it to be. It's about strategy, execution, and winning. It's about doing what works, not what feels good in the moment. For the next 3 months, you are the prince of your own life. Your kingdom is your potential. Your enemies are your distractions, your laziness, and your excuses. And this video contains the 10 Machiavellian laws you must follow to secure your throne. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Master Virtù versus Fortuna. Machiavelli talks about 2 forces that control our lives, Fortuna and Virtù. Fortuna is luck, chance, the unpredictable chaos of the world. It's the algorithm change, the market crash, the unexpected problem. Fortuna controls half of our lives. But the other half. That's Virtù. And Virtù is not virtue in a moral sense. It's your strength. Your skill. Your relentless drive. Your human agency. This is the core Machiavellian concept. You cannot control Fortuna, but you can absolutely master your own Virtù. So how do you do this? You disappear. You disappear from the chaos. You delete social media apps. You stop going to pointless events. You mute the opinions of others. This is not you running away. This is you strategically withdrawing from the battlefield of distraction so you can fortify your own Virtù. You are building an army of skill, discipline, and focus within yourself, so that when Fortuna throws a storm at you, you are an unbreakable fortress, not a fragile leaf in the wind. You are taking control of your 50%. Lesson 2. Be feared by your weaker self. Machiavelli famously said it is better to be feared than loved. He was talking to a prince about managing his subjects. But your subjects are your habits. Your emotions. Your impulses. The part of you that wants to hit snooze. The part that wants to scroll instead of work. You must make this weaker self fear you. Love is fickle. Sometimes you love the idea of relaxing when you should be working. But fear? Fear is consistent. The fear of failure, the fear of weakness, the fear of looking in the mirror in 3 months and seeing zero progress, that fear must be stronger than the temporary comfort of laziness. Your discipline must be ruthless and certain. When your weaker self suggests quitting, you must punish that thought with immediate action. You must make the consequence of breaking your own promises to yourself so severe that your lazy side would never dare challenge you. This is Machiavellian self-governance. Rule your inner kingdom with an iron will. Lesson 3. The ends justify the means. This is the most famous and misunderstood Machiavellian phrase. People think it means, be evil to get what you want. No. For a prince, it meant that the survival and prosperity of the entire state justified the difficult decisions he had to make. For you, the state is your future. The end is the greatest version of yourself. The means are the sacrifices you make to get there. Does skipping a party to work on your craft justify the means? Absolutely. Does waking up at 5 a.m. when it's cold and dark justify the means? 100%. Does eating plain food to get healthy justify the means? Without a doubt. You must judge every single action by one question: does this serve my ultimate goal? If the answer is no, you don't do it. This is pragmatic, not sentimental. You are sacrificing 3 months of comfort for a lifetime of power. That is the ultimate trade. The end, your transformation, justifies the means of temporary hardship. Lesson 4. Know your enemies intimately. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Who is your enemy? It's not other people. Your enemy is your own procrastination, your insecurity, your addiction to dopamine hits, your fear of failure. You must bring these enemies so close you can study them. You must understand them. When does procrastination usually attack you? Is it around 3 p.m.? What triggers your insecurity? What does the urge to quit feel like in your body? By studying your enemies, you can predict their moves. You can set traps for them. If you know you get lazy at 3 p.m., you schedule your most important work for 3 p.m. You attack your enemy head-on. You disappear from external enemies, but you become a master of your internal ones. This deep self-knowledge is a Machiavellian superpower. Lesson 5. Be the lion and the fox. A prince must be both a lion and a fox. The lion is pure strength and force. The fox is cunning, strategy, and cleverness. You need both. The lion is your consistency. It's the raw power you use to grind through difficult tasks. It's the force that says, I will not stop until this is done. The fox is your intelligence. It's finding a smarter way to do things. It's optimizing your routine. It's navigating obstacles without smashing your head against a wall. You can't just be a fox, you'll never do the hard work. You can't just be a lion, you'll burn out. To build your greatest version, you need the lion's courage to start and the fox's wisdom to finish efficiently. Be fierce in your execution, but clever in your approach. Lesson 6. Never surrender acquired power. A prince must never willingly give up power he has gained. Why? Because retaking it is 10 times harder, and your enemies will see you as weak. Every day you stick to your plan, you gain power. A little more discipline. A little more skill. A little more confidence. This is your acquired power. You must never surrender it. Not for one day. Not for one excuse. If you built a habit of waking up early for 30 days, surrendering and sleeping in on day 31 isn't just a break, it's a surrender of power. It tells your weaker self that you can be defeated. It makes the next day harder. You must guard your streaks, your habits, and your progress like a dragon guards its gold. This is Machiavellian consistency. You don't negotiate with your weaker self. You defeat it, every single day. Lesson 7. Project power before you feel it. Machiavelli said it's fine for a prince to seem virtuous, merciful, and strong, even if he must sometimes act differently. Perception is power. You must use this. You must build the image of your greatest version now. Even on days you feel weak, act strong. Dress like the person you want to be. Speak with the confidence of that person. Carry yourself like someone who has already achieved their goals. This isn't being fake. This is Machiavellian strategy. You are using your external actions to shape your internal reality. By projecting power, you start to become powerful. You convince the world, and eventually, you convince yourself. You become the character you are playing. Lesson 8. Avoid your own self-hatred. A prince can survive being feared, but he can never survive being despised by his people. If you become a tyrant to yourself, if you hate yourself for every small mistake, you will rebel and quit. This is crucial. Your discipline must be firm, but it cannot be cruel. Missing one workout doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you correct course and are even more disciplined the next day. Don't despise yourself for being human. Despise only inaction. A good prince provides stability and order for his people. Be a good prince to yourself. Provide the stability of routine and the order of discipline, and you will earn your own respect, not your own hatred. Lesson 9. Rely only on your own arms. A prince who relies on mercenaries, soldiers who fight for money, will always fail. Because when the battle gets tough, they leave. Your motivation. That's a mercenary. It's unreliable. Inspiration from a YouTube video. That's a mercenary. It fades. The Machiavellian way is to rely on your own arms, your own discipline, your own reason, your own core purpose. This is the ultimate reason to disappear. You are cutting off the mercenaries. You are building a permanent army within yourself. You are the general and the soldier. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop needing external validation. Your power must come from within. It is the only power that is truly yours and cannot be taken away. Lesson 10. Strike decisively against bad habits. Machiavelli said if you must injure someone, do it all at once. The bitterness is quickly felt and then forgotten. But give benefits little by little, so they are savored. This is brilliant. Apply it to your life. When you strike against a bad habit, like junk food, nicotine, or procrastination, you must be decisive. Don't try to taper off. Rip the Band-Aid off. Delete the apps. Throw the junk food out. Quit completely and without negotiation. The pain is sharp but short. Conversely, build good habits slowly. Don't try to do everything on day one. Add one new habit at a time. Savor the slow, steady build of your benefits. This is how you build lasting power. Destroy your vices with overwhelming force. Construct your virtues with patient, consistent strategy. For the next 3 months, this is your law. This is your Machiavellian protocol. Disappear from the world to master yourself. Stay consistent through ruthless self-discipline. And build your greatest version by any means necessary. The world doesn't need to see the process. They just need to see the result. They will see a person who commands their own life. A person of power. A person of respect. Go be that prince. Secure your kingdom. Now get to work.